NTRC's icode784 competition grand finale is here. Teams from all across St. Vincent and the Grenadines will compete for a chance to win huge cash prizes. It's the NTRC's icode784 competition grand finale. Code the future.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our 9th annual icode784 competition. We will now have our judging of our open category. Please invite Ms. Eustacia Walter, the Public Relations Officer of the NTRC, to introduce the judges.
Mrs. Jacqueline Joseph. Mrs. Jacqueline Joseph is a self-motivated, focused, responsible, and a very organized individual who has been an educator for many years and has a passion for working with people, especially children. She has also been involved in educating adults in computer literacy, as well as being a judge in numerous academic and cultural competitions. Mrs. Joseph is currently the Product Development Officer in the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation Sustainable Development. Mrs. Jacqueline Joseph. Imran Nantan. Imran Nantan was a participant in the 2018 NTRC's icode784 competition. Mr. Nantan is currently the owner of ITCS, a technology-based company specializing in web cybersecurity, software, and hardware solutions for other companies or individuals requiring such services. With over 10 years of professional experience in the information technology field and multiple certifications, including the CompTIA A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, a certified Dell, Lenovo, and HP agent. Mr. Nantan's passion for coding as a self-taught programmer drove his once previous goal of starting his own IT business and drives his future goal to continue contributing to the development and advancement of the technology sector here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Mr. Imran Nantan. Mr. Jadrick Cummins. Jadrick Cummins has been practicing barrister and solicitor since December 2012. He attained his LLB degree in law and business from Coventry University, UK, and completed the bar professional training course at the University of the West of England, Bristol, UK. He is currently a partner at Cardinal Law Firm in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where he engages in a diverse civil law practice representing clients the world over. Jadrick is an avid consumer of mobile electronics and digital platforms, and in 2016 received certification from CASIP in mobile application development. Mr. Jadrick Cummins, our judges for the open category.
Okay, before we begin judging, let me briefly remind you of the rules. The following are the guidelines for making your presentations for all categories in the final phase of the competition. Each team has 7 minutes to present. A buzzer signals the beginning of the presentation. After 5 minutes have passed, another buzzer will be sound. When the 7 minutes are up, 2 buzzers will be sound. If the team is not yet finished after 7 minutes have elapsed, then they will be allowed to continue. However, at the 8 minutes mark, 3 buzzers will be sound to alert the team that they have to stop their presentation. After the initial presentation, there will be a 5-minute round of questioning from the panel of judges. A buzz would signal the beginning of this round of questioning, and after 4 minutes have passed, another buzzer will let the judges know that they should not ask any more questions. However, if a team is answering a question, they will be allowed to finish. A buzz would then signal the end of this round of questioning. Now we'll have presentation, our first presentation, Astra.
Judges, fellow participants, audience, good morning. Visualize, it's 9 a.m., rain is pouring, and thunder is rolling, yet you have to go to school. You get ready and leave home. Halfway there, while scrolling through Facebook, you see a statement that was posted a whole hour ago saying that there would be no school tomorrow due to the weather. If you were previously notified about this before, you would have not gotten up or get ready, thus saving you valuable time. And as we all know, in this day and age, time is money. This is where our mobile application comes into play, App-I, the more you know. App-I will be the perfect solution to all these problems in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as it will have all the information that you will need, as soon as possible, that is news, weather, events, and much more in one readily accessible place. It will also be a trustworthy source of all this information, as everything will be verified by the source. It will also be extremely fast in having these information, as it will have real-time updates. App-I will be the first proper mobile application in St. Vincent and Grenadines that has all needed information about everything you could possibly need in one place that is both accessible to people with mobile devices and an internet connection. It will also allow for the easier access to these information for the public of St. Vincent and Grenadines. App-I has a very simple and clear design, which also makes the application easy to use and navigate through, as all navigation buttons are clear and easy to understand, which in turn allows the application to be visually pleasing to the eye.
We aim for App-I to be fully decked out with the latest and greatest technology features so as to keep up with the rapidly changing technological world. Firstly, App-I will have the ability to machine learn, it will be able to learn faster and fast in the updating of all information from the online servers onto the application itself. App-I will also have the ability to cloud compute, as it will be retrieving the information from the private online server to present on the application. App-I will also be able to handle large amounts of data that would present a very efficient without lag or slowing down the actual application itself. Last but not least, App-I will have the ability to handle and process online donation payments, which by the way are not mandatory to use the application. Now let's talk about the sustainability of our application. App-I has the ability to be fully self-sustained, as it will require little to no human interactions in terms of management, seeing as the app itself would machine learn and get better, thus reducing the human management of the app. App-I will also have the ability to be financially self-sustainable, as within the application, various advertisements from Google AdSense as well as local advertisements would be present. Within the app, users also have the feature that allows them to donate money to the application using various online payment methods like PaySwift, Deep Cash, as well as using credit, debit, and debit cards. It should also be noted that App-I will be a non-profit application, as everything that we make from advertisements and donations goes straight back into making the application better.
How does App-I work? There's an online server that hosts all the various information, whether it be news, the weather, or even various events. The application then retrieves this information from the server anytime the server is updated, such as pictures, dates, and even links. The application then presents this information on the in an easy-to-read format, as well as notifying the user anytime new information has been added. In terms of the server, anytime the information is available, we would have to input that into the server, as there's not yet a way to have that process automated. However, we are working on that. Now, get ready, as it's time for us to present App-I.
Okay, so this is the mobile application. When you open the application, you are greeted with a login/sign-up page where you can continue as a guest or continue with Facebook or Google, or you can just log in. For now, we'll just continue as a guest. So on the home page, which is also the news section, it shows all the latest news within St. Vincent and Grenadines that are verified. So as you can see, we have various news categories. We also, at the top, we also have a search bar where you can search the news by date or by the name of it. So if I type in CXC, or who posted it, or the date, as you can see, November. So when you click on, well, as you can see here, we can see who posted it, Ministry of Agriculture, and when they posted it, the 17th of November. There's a title there as well as a small picture. When you click it, it goes to this page where we have multiple pictures, but as for now, we only have one. As you can see again who it's posted by as well as the date. You have the title of it as well as a brief description of what is happening. You can also save this article. However, since we signed in as a guest, it wouldn't save, but when you sign in with Google or Facebook, it will be saved. And we will show you where it's being saved later. You also have an option to share the news article with anything you want, WhatsApp, Facebook, or even Bluetooth. Then when we go back, the weather section is the same. Same layout. You have the search bar, see who posted it, the date. And when you click it, once again, it's the same layout. And the same holds true for the events section. You can see who posted it, date, and whatever else that I said before. On to this other section where you can view public reports. Now, these public reports are made by people who are using the application, regular users. So as you can see, we have a disclaimer right here saying that due to the nature of this information posted, it may be inaccurate. So this is an example of a news public report that is being posted. You can see who posted it as well as the date. Now, we have an extra feature here for this section called upvotes. So persons can either upvote it or downvote it to increase or decrease the validity of this. So as you can see, there's 23 upvotes and 0 downvotes, meaning that it's more than likely true. So you can also make a post. You can state what the post is about. So for example, if I type in NTRC finals, all right, you can do the location of the incident, Methodist Church Hall, whatever. And you can also select a time. So I'll just select this time, for example. And you can also upload a picture from the gallery or by using the phone's built-in camera. So you can take the picture and select it and submit the report, and the report has been submitted to us, and then we will decide if it's being uploaded onto the application because we filter it for obscene language or inappropriate pictures. All right, and the last part of the application, the side menu, you can see the username, the phone number, whatever else you use to sign up with. You can go back to your home page, you can view your profile, the save post, as I said again. However, that's not functional right now as we signed it as a guest. The settings, frequently asked questions, and a plethora of other things. As you can see, we also have the donate function right here, where you can donate to the application using Dcash, PaySwift, credit card, or bank transfer. And that's basically AppI in a nutshell. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
We will now begin our 5-minute round of questions from the panel of judges.
All right, thank you guys. That's a really good presentation. Almost every question that I had, you went on to address it. The only thing that I want to find out is for critical information in terms of critical articles that you were speaking about in terms of whether or not, about receiving time updates of things of an important nature. I was wondering if there is a way for AppI or you as the moderators to retrieve important information and put it on the app as opposed to waiting for these various organizations to do it themselves, since something might be, time sensitive.
For notifications, well, for that, we have option to enable push notifications, which will enable, notify you of, like, serious events. That information could be uploaded through government. Like, if it's important and it's posted by the government, they could just send it straight. If it's really important, first preference, they just go straight through as a notification. You can just click on it, get the information that way, instead of having to go through our whole main process. That's what you're asking?
I do. Okay, but what I'm trying to find out is if you yourselves can get that information, if you happen to find out that information before these organizations choose to post it,
Yeah.
if you yourselves are able to put it on the app
Oh.
so that users can see it quicker.
Oh, oh. Well, well, the sign-in feature was also part of that, because when you sign in, you could have like your own account, so you could like track if you post it, so in that way you could upload something and we would know who it is. So if it's fraudulent, we could come back. So that way we could enable that feature.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Good afternoon. That was an excellent presentation.
Thank you.
As my colleague said, all my questions are answered. So I don't really have anything else to ask.
Come back to the question my teammate was asking. So, he kind of talked to me, and he was saying that there was emergency option like to upload if you're a normal user, but as you said, you have to sign in. So if you choose to upload it as emergency, we could see who you are and so.
Right. Okay.
Could you hear me? Okay, yeah. It was a very good presentation. I really liked the UI. I really don't have any questions. Because most of what I would have asked were already covered by you guys, right? I think, yeah, it's just I like the upvote, downvote feature, so that stuff that is up can get rated and stuff by people. But yeah, very good presentation, and I think that will be all for today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Astra, for your wonderful presentation. The next group we have presenting is Dem Island Boys.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hudson Adams. Oh, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hudson Adams.
I am Kimani Brown.
And I am Cody Ince.
And together we make up Them Island Boys. And this afternoon, we just wanted to present to you our application called eCertify. Now, what is eCertify? eCertify is a mobile application that contains a QR code that's digitally verified by the Ministry of Health and also contains all of your vaccination records that you have taken in your lifetime.
So some of the aims and goals of eCertify is establishing a good relationship with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, to provide easy access to records without the need of physical vaccination cards, assist in tracking all vaccinated and unvaccinated persons, and ensuring that all records are up to date. So the target audience or the persons who will be mainly using this app would be healthcare workers, government officials, locals who may need their vaccine information. For example, some universities and schools may require your vaccination records for accommodations. So you can use e-certify to get your information from there, and persons who want a hassle-free way of showing proof of vaccination without a physical card.
All right, so you may ask, what does this application solve? This removes cards that may be damaged, lost, or tampered with. This is to say that once your information will be verified by the Ministry of Health, all the information would be on the application. That way, if you misplace a card, you still have a digital copy of your information. The application may also solve solutions by providing solutions that can be used to accept locally, for the example I listed earlier. It also provides real-time tracking and updates. So once what has been updated, the app would be the QR code that you have. Once you scan it, it will always be there. It also provides the environment. It helps the environment, which is reduce paper. And basically, you do more with less. You have your information with less cards. Now you may ask, what does this app cost? The app is 100% free. That is because it will be developed by us. And we also use open source packages that are also free. For example, you may want a feature to display the barcode. That is an example of our open source packages.
Now, just to name a few technologies, not all, but just some of the technologies that are open source that we use in order to acquire this application. So we have used Expo in order to basically just showcase the app and test it on various devices such as iOS and Android. We have used the programming language of React Native to just kind of build the cross-application development and so forth. And now we will just dive into a quick live demonstration to showcase e-certify. So once the application is loaded, you have to verify the information via your ID card in order to get into the application. When you are presented with this landing page, you can see that Sarah Valentina has the QR code. This QR code would contain, once you scan it, it would then display all the records for all your vaccination, right? But in the event that you are traveling and let's say someone wants to know if you have taken your COVID-19 vaccine, you would just click on the COVID-19 and it would then display the date. When you go and click on it to verify the information, the area below will come up. But in the event that the solution is implemented with the Ministry of Health, this would then take you to the Ministry of Health website, verify the information, comes back, and then the verification would be displayed in this area right below the COVID-19, in addition to displaying the relevant information right below. So as you can see that Sarah Valentina has taken quite a lot of vaccine in her lifetime. She has taken the polio, DPT, tuberculosis, and so forth. And this is just the end of the live demonstration.
All right, so our future plans are to expand on the technologies that are used. That way, so if we do go internationally, we may be able to incorporate it with some of the technologies or devices that they have. All right, thank you.
Okay, we will now begin our 5-minute round to have questions from the judges.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. One question when it comes to sustainability. I believe you said that in terms of sustainability, there'd be little or no cost because you would be the ones continuing to maintain and develop the app?
Yes, you are correct.
Right. Have you given any thought to the longevity or lifespan of the app? God forbid something would happen to you fellas. How would the app survive and continue to function if you're going to pitch it as a solution for the Ministry of Health, etc., and to be used by organizations the world over?
All right.
Okay. So what we would do in that event, right, is that once we are then partnered with the MOH, we would have other personnel trained in that regard. So in the event that, something, God forbid, something happens to any one of us, somebody could just take over and fill in that spot, because once anyone possesses the programming skill, you would be then able to just maintain the application.
All right, and to add to that, as a good programmer, normally you're supposed to have documentation to your code. So each code will have different functions, different documentation. So if they are supposed to edit something, they could actually look for exactly which function to edit. So not to say that they will be scrambling all over the place.
Okay, thanks.
Good afternoon, guys. I have a question. All right. Mistake me if I'm incorrect, but basically, the app is what fetches the information from the Ministry of Health's website.
It will be a database, but yes.
So the QR code is on the person's phone,
Yes.
on the profile, right? So if I was to scan that QR code, it would pull the information back from the Ministry of Health's database. That's how.
What was that last part?
If I scan the QR code, right, on your phone, it's pulling the information from the database from Ministry of Health.
Yeah, that's correct, because the QR code would already be generated.
Okay. I just wanted to know that part.
All right, no problem.
Good afternoon again.
Hey, good afternoon.
I'm wondering how you are going to get all your information from the Ministry of Health. Okay, you see that it will go to their website.
Right.
Would you sign a MOU with the Ministry of Health to get all that information?
Oh, yes, it's signed.
Okay, what do you do? Okay, would you have some agreement with Ministry of Health
Well,
to get that information?
that is the plan, because we can't just go and release the app and we have no authorization from them, because Apple for sure would shut us down.
Okay.
So if we present the app to them and they accept it, going forward now we can look and see how could we facilitate those.
Okay, thank you.
Judges, do you have any more questions?
Quick question. Do the app you presented, does it have a feature to scan the QR code?
That is something that we'll add in the future, but for right now it only displays your vaccination status.
Okay. Because I just wanted to know if I was to verify, because if I scan your code.
Oh no, that would be on the other. That would be on the other person's end. So that if the app is just the user, just the user side. So if I show them the QR code, whoever I'm showing it to is supposed to scan it, and then they will get the information. Also, as you can see, I can display whatever vaccine I have and what date it is taken. But because we have to go to ministry first, right now this information won't be valid, but once it is valid, you will see, like, Instagram verification, tick what's not.
Okay, thank you for that.
All right.
Thank you, Ramal and boys, for your wonderful presentation, E-Certify. Next up, we have the group Year 10. Welcome, Year 10.
Good afternoon. Protocol already been established. We're year 10. My name is Joseph Denny, and
I am Jason Alexis, and we are here to present accoutrements. So we're going to do something a bit radical today, forego a presentation and then use our time in order to demonstrate our application towards you, well, to you. So accoutrements, as we would have stated in the preliminaries, is basically an application that would help both stores and people in St. Vincent and tourists in order to have sort of like a virtual storefront. So when you open the application, the first thing that you'll be greeted with is our introduction page. Welcome to accoutrements, just a standard intro towards the application. Now, we have our main page here. Now, I have codes and Bob's goods here just to demonstrate the application working. Right now, they are currently empty. Now, again, the purpose of this application is to be able to scan a QR code, and then you can see all of the items that the store has on sale. So you can do this from your home, you can do this on the go. As long as you see our specialized QR code, you will have to scan it, and then you will see the items here on the screen. As you can see, right now it is empty, but if I press that floating action button in the bottom right, it brings up our QR scanner. Now here on the laptop, we have our QR code. And if we go to codes, we can now see that the items have been populated. Now, the closest app that we've found that had something similar to this was one in the Netherlands. But the way that they utilized the QR code was that every item has its own code. But here for accoutrement, one code can have all of the items that a store wants to display. And more than just items, here we see Coast also offers a financial install payment, which I use to demonstrate. So you can even offer services as well with the application, not just items. There's a description there. If you click view product, it's not as detailed, but you could even call now, or if you're interested, you could click add to your wish list. Now we have our virtual storefronts. We're going to use codes to demonstrate. So if I click there, you can see an image of the store. When we're looking for images for the different stores, I find that there's a severe lack of images, but I digress. So if I click view more, this is just a demonstration, but you can see more details on the store. For now, we're just displaying the opening hours for codes. If there's any other pertinent information that a store or a service would want to demonstrate, they can have all that there. And if there's any other information, let's say that you want to buy an item and you want to call to find out if it's in stock, you have the information there. Here we have the list of, well, what would be our features. For now, we have implemented the availability to plan a route. Now, I haven't gotten everything working, but the idea is that you would pick a starting point, whether it be your current location or a set location or maybe a custom location. And then when you select choose destination, you can choose the list of stores that are currently stored on your device, and then you can find the way to each store. Now, the benefit of this is that when you're scanning the QR codes, you might not necessarily know where the location of a store is, because these QR codes can be in a newspaper, it could be on a billboard, so you might not necessarily know what the location of the store that you're scanning, where it would be. So this feature is implemented to make all of that easy for the customer. And of course, we have our settings page, our profile page, where you could choose settings, like your language, your country, and we even have a frequently asked question page where people might want to find out how do they do a QR scan, because not everybody might know how to do that. Where do they find these QR codes? And I know a question that might come up often is, how do I pay for the items? Now, the thing that we would have pointed out beforehand would be that this idea, this application, does not handle any ordering, any purchasing of items. It is just there to act as a virtual storefront for each store. Now, we want to do sort of like a live demonstration. Our application is currently linked to Firebase, so I'm just going to show a picture of a ring on the screen here. So that is the ring. And for our judges, I would like you each to give just one word that would describe that ring. Just one word.
Gold.
Gold.
Shiny.
Shiny.
Circular.
And what was that?
Circular.
Circular. So we have gold, we have shiny, and we have circular. All right? Yeah, we could go with that. Okay, so. Okay, so we have that stored under Bob's Goods. And as you can see there, the words in the description, gold, shiny, and circular. Now, the idea is that we would have a companion app to this where we will go and add any items, update any items that are needed, and that process can be done quickly and easily. But as you can see, all the information is real-time, easily accessible, and more importantly, the app itself is also free of charge. Now, I believe, Now, in terms of the benefits, that's it for the application itself. Now, in terms of the benefits that we would have identified for the application, we looked at the benefits for the customers in terms of people who would be at home. They don't want to go around and shop in Kingston. It's a lot easier for them because they could just scan the newspaper, a code in the newspaper, and have all the information available right there. For tourists who are coming to the island, they might come on a Sunday when stores are closed, but then we have the codes on the windows where they can quickly just scan the codes as they walk through town, and let's say that they're staying for a prolonged period of time, they have a better idea of what items these stores would offer. For the stores themselves, as you can see with the virtual storefronts, they can have information that is not easily accessible right there at the fingertips of the customer, of a potential customer. And again, as I said before, for those people who might not know where a store is, but they still scan a code, it can help create more customers for that particular store. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we will now open our 5-minute round of questioning from the panel of judges.
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
Just 2 questions. Quickly, I noticed the search icon at the top of the app there, of the screen.
Yeah.
That functionality is only just to view storefronts, or is it to to also search items in stores?
So in this page, you should be able to view storefronts. So like if I type in C, it'll bring up all the ones with C. If I put like OU, you could spell it out and find the store. For the other one, for the main page, the functionality isn't set as yet, but the idea is whatever code, when you scan a code and you have the items on your device, you should be able to scan for that item. So let's say that you're looking for a pan or a pot, you can type in pot and it'll bring up all the items that fit that tag.
Right, after you scan the code?
Yeah, after you scan the code.
Okay, and two, the idea behind the app, the concept is that you would be able to scan codes and that would save you the hassle of trying to find out what's in a store.
Yeah.
Right? So you could be at home and scan and you'll know.
Especially like during Christmas time when there's a lot of
Right.
congestion in the stores. That's why we had used codes as our demonstration.
Right.
Because these stores are often packed during Christmas, so it reduces the hassle of having to go through all of that when you could just scan, see if they have what you want, and avoid all that, well, especially in these covetous times, avoid all of that mixing and mingling when you don't necessarily have to.
Right, so my question is there a way that the app keeps track of stock?
We consider that, but that's why instead we opted to have like a call now button, where if you're interested in an item, you can just call to see if they currently have it on stock, because it's a virtual storefront. So let's say that if you were window shopping and you saw an item in the window, you might not necessarily know how much the store might have in stock other than that display item. That's why it's just moving that storefront to a virtual device. So the same interaction of you having to go to the store and seeing if they still have the items in stock, just that now you can call them to find out.
Okay, all right, fair enough. One thing I just noticed, what's the color options below?
That I was supposed to take out, but I forgot to, my apologies.
Okay.
But the idea is, let's say that you are buying a couch, right? And they have different colors of that couch, then all of that could be added in. This is just a prototype, so.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Are the store, only the stores in Kingston you can have access to?
Oh, no. That's why we had like individual at the top there. So let's say that there's somebody in Chateaubelair who wants to use this application, a vendor, because they could even add like, let's say that somebody's selling vegetables or fruits, rather than having people always coming up to them, how much for this, how much for this, they can use the application, have the prices for all their fruits there, have the QR code set up so that they can scan and have all the information available to them. So it's not limited just to stores in Kingston. It could be individuals, and it's not just for selling as well. It could also be for services. So let's say a mechanic or a beautician, both items and services can be used on the device, on the app.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Good afternoon, guys. I don't really have any questions right now.
Okay.
So my colleagues will probably ask
Okay.
all the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Year 10, for your presentation on accoutrements. Would save me the hassle of going to courts during Christmas time. Okay. We have another presentation by Astra. Welcome, Astra.
Vintress, your grocery shopping done right. Just hold a while, technical difficulties.
You're missing the rice. Your plans for stir fry are now beyond char, and in future family gatherings, you're considered a retard. Something so simple, how could we forget? But thanks to Ventress, all's not lost yet. Or maybe it's Aunt Sally, rising from her bed. Arthritis pain kicking, she's in need of romance. A small house in Connery, she lives all alone. But remembering Ventress, she picks up her phone. Today we present a gift of great joy. Welcome to Ventress, smooth shopping, ahoy.
When we were brainstorming an idea for an app to design, we thought about an area that has many problems that affects the everyday person. That area for us, coincidentally, was shopping. Undoubtedly, at one point or another, all of us have been very frustrated by our inability to get an item, no matter how many stores we check, whether that be rice, eggs, or something as simple as flour. We saw this problem and decided to develop a solution. This solution aims to do 6 main things. Our application will allow you to virtually search and peruse supermarket shelves to check the quantity of an item that is in stock. It will also allow you to check the prices of these items right from your phone. It will also allow you to save both time and money by reducing the need to go to the supermarkets to search for these items. And especially in times like these, the ability to shop safely online with little human interaction is very good. We also allow users to compare prices and obtain the best deals. And of course, we had to do all of this in a way that was easy to implement and use, because let's be honest, no matter how good an application is, if it is complicated or an inconvenience to use, it will not be feasible. Judges, audience, with all that in mind, we created what we believe to be the solution to all these problems. That solution is Ventress. Let's have a look.
Straight away, we will be greeted with a little introduction so that people who are using the app for the first time can get a little taste of what is in store within the app. We're now moving on to the login page where we can register and create our account. You can provide a profile photo, which would help with the process, but it is optional. If you log in, you can log in with your account, or you can continue as a guest. If you continue as a guest, you can see what the stores have in stock, but you cannot actually do any purchases without logging in. So let's put in our email. Straight away, we can see all the stores that we have implemented into this application. We can see, and we can swipe to the right, Sunrise Supermarket, Massey Stores, and more, etc. You can also click Show All to see all of them at once, just like this. You can search specifically for a store if that's what you would prefer. We don't only offer supermarkets, we also offer pharmacies and other featured stores and sellers. So let's go straight into it by checking out Massey Stores Uptown. As you can see, we have all the items that Massey Stores will be offering. You can see information such as if it offers pickup or if it offers delivery. Also tells us when the store is up and running or when it's closed. It also has a rating feature, so you can see the ratings that were given, and you can click on the icon right here, and it will take you to the location on Google Maps. We can add stuff to our cart, and if we click on the top right corner, we can actually purchase them. But as you can see right now, our cart is empty, so let's head back to the home screen. We're going to go through our pharmacies, and we're going to go to Lewis Pharmacy. As you can see, when it comes to medicine, medicine can be quite pricey. So we try to help our users by giving them the options to compare the prices between stores. If you go to our Compare tab, you can see the different prices between apps, between different stores, and you can see the prices that they all have in difference, which will allow you to save money. If we go back to our home screen, we can see that you can go to a shopping list. As you can see, we have groceries for Dad. We can press the ... we can check out or share the list. Let's go to checkout. In the checkout, we can go to our payment method, and let's choose one. Let's choose PaySwift. Confirm. We'll also give the time in which you'll pick up. The actual time in which you'll pick up will have to be in a 3-hour limit after you have actually set up the time. 3 hours after the current time. So let's say you order something at 12, you can't say that you're going to pick it up for 4. It must be within a 3-hour limit. So let's press OK, and we can order, and there we go. Order submit. In your notifications tab, you will receive notifications about the timing and when they have arrived or not. If you scroll all the way down, you can see that we will be self-sustaining this app through ads, as you can see at the bottom. Also, we have a featured store section where stores can pay us to be featured on our page. If we go to more, we can see that we have a lot of things that we offer, such as order history, managing notifications, rewards, payments. In our order history, the last time we bought something, as you can see, they had to pay a service fee and deliverance fee, which comes with anything you buy. You gain Trust points, which you can use as an in-app currency to redeem rewards also. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, my partner here forgot a few things. As you can see on the receipt page, there's also a download button if you want to save the receipt for later, such as, you can also, in the pharmacy section, let's say you go to Lewis Pharmacy, because that's the only one I uploaded information for so far, and you have a prescription. If you have a prescription, you can take a picture of it, and it'll prompt you to take a picture of it before you could add it to the cart, so the pharmacist could see you have the prescription. We also have a feature for price checker. So let's say you have an item, say a bottle of water. You can scan the QR code, or the barcode, sorry, and currently there's no information, no data link to it, but it will work in function when time comes. So, if you have anything else. All right, yeah, thank you.
Okay, we will now open our 5-minute round of questioning for the judges.
Yeah, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I had one question, and I guess you read my mind because you answered it when you came back, and that was about the prescriptions. I was going to ask if there's a way to upload your prescription before even making a purchase. Before that, before you gave that account, I was going to find out if it worked in the way that you were able to buy the item at the pharmacy, and then upon pickup, you would present your prescription to the pharmacist at that point. But if you're able to upload it beforehand, then I think that solves the question that I was going to ask, which was how would you take care, how would you take account of the person not having a prescription if they ordered it on the app beforehand? But again, you answered the question, so thanks for that. So it was a good presentation.
Thank you.
The last time you were here, good afternoon, sorry, last time you were here, I asked you about doing business in the countryside instead of, so let's suppose I'm from Georgetown. Can I go to somewhere in Georgetown to do that same sort of business?
You mean like if you're a vendor and you have items? Or, yeah. That was another thing my partner forgot to mention, because in the other featured stores and sellers, that's where they would be. Which goes to the end. It says you can contact us to be featured on a store, like have a store featured in an area. And if you click on the little red thing, the other reason we have such a section with the other featured sellers is because these stores may not necessarily have an inventory management system linked to their point of sale. So the data that is on the app may not be accurate, like up to the minute. So that's where their stores will be.
Okay, thank you.
No, okay, yeah. There's just one question I have. Good afternoon again. Representation, by the way. Who you guys will be responsible for populating the database with all the inventory?
Well, what we envision it being is that since there's an existing inventory management system in most supermarkets, it'll just be linked directly to that. So it'll be uploaded to our servers or online cloud computing servers or whatever, and then it will be streamed to our app, so you can see as something is sold in supermarket, it's updated on the app.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Astra, for that wonderful presentation, Vintras. And now we will have our final team in the open category, them Island Boys.
Good afternoon, everyone. The protocol is already established. We are them Island Boys, and this afternoon we will be presenting to you our mobile application called QTrack. QTrack is a mobile application that assists in the regulating of quarantine protocols as well as tracking individuals who are in quarantine. Reason being behind this, normally the procedure is you go, you take a swab, you're positive, and you're just given a court order, and we just have to trust that that individual is now goes on quarantine. No, we are playing with our lives.
So these are the issues that we are fixing with QTrack. So it easily reveals individuals' location at all times while they're in quarantine. It assists in ensuring that quarantine is never broken or breached, and it provides a platform where health workers can keep track of the numbers, times, and dates that the person has in quarantine. So some of the advantages of QTrack is the easy tracking feature. It shows the current location of the person in quarantine. Now, this feature, the app itself has an offline mode, so it doesn't require internet at all times. So if the person doesn't have internet on their phone or their device and they breach quarantine, the phone's geolocation functions will allow to update the ministry, the officials of the person's location, and can send SMSs and other forms of communications. Communication is also another feature where health workers can message and ask questions or ask for a photo so that the person in quarantine can send to verify their location. So our target audience are the persons who will be using the app, health workers and officials, persons in quarantine, of course, and front desk workers. The introduction of front desk workers to the apps, front desk clerks, sorry. This would be like the persons, the administrators of the hotels and guest houses. So they'll be able to see how much time the person has left in quarantine, and the persons that are staying at their hotel, they would know exactly. So if the person, say, leaves their room or goes outside, they'll be able to assist in updating the health officials. And also if, let's say, the app prompts the user for a photo or something like that, and they have no response, let's say the person's battery died or anything like that, the front desk clerks can verify and check to see the exact location of the person, see if they're sleeping in their rooms or anything like that, and then update the health workers and officials.
All right, again, this app will be completely free as it's being built by us. And one of the main open source packages that we use is the geolocation, which my partner mentioned, which would deal with the tracking of the person using the application.
And as usual, just to name a few of the open source packages that we use to acquire this application, of course, is React Native, Expo, MySQL DB to basically do the database side of it, and of course, Firebase. But let's just dive into a little bit of the live demonstration of the application. Okay. So before you are given here, the app then detects what method you're using to basically unlock your device and then prompts you to use it. In the code that we did, it prompts you for Face ID. However, I noticed that this phone doesn't have Face ID, else it would have prompted you for it, because my phone prompts you for the Face ID. And then once it verifies, you are then presented to the screen. There are two screens. The quarantine session, which is located on the right, and on the left is the QR code that would hold the quarantine information that will be presented for the health officials. So let's start the quarantine session. When each session is created, it would then have to be verified by a health official who would then accept it. Once accepted, you would be notified and redirected to the screen where the tracking is being completed. On the screen, as you can see, the users display the amount of Right. So you can see the time available for the quarantine, and it will notify you and say your quarantine session has started. The app would then, at a random interval, ask you to complete 3 actions to verify that you are still within the location. So at some point, the app is then going to ask me to do the action. It came in. It will then tell you have 20 seconds to complete an action before you are reported to the authorities. You will see at the bottom it says, you are requested to press the chat icon. I will then go, press the chat icon, and then as you can see, the number of actions you did was then completed. At another random interval, it will then ask you to complete another action. It notifies you again. This time it's telling me to press the footprint icon. Okay, cool. You have just confirmed your location. Great. Another action request came in. Okay, hold on. There would be a delay there. Also, it just came in at this point in time. Okay, let me just do that real quick. Hold on. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for action to come about, I can then showcase how the app then tracks your live location. Oh God, I've been left. So with the location, it's not perfect, but what it does, it goes accordingly to the radius. So the red circle that you're seeing on screen, it will then detect if you are within that radius. So the geolocation, as I said, is not perfect. So currently, the user location is not within here. It says you're over here. So now, since we're not in that zone, it then would notify you and say, hey, you have left quarantine. You need to return back into it. And it would then tell you have been reported to authorities for breaching your quarantine session. So I wanted to I wanted to showcase the live feature a bit more correctly, but the app is not, as I said, the location is not perfect. But moving on. When you have completed your quarantine session, if you have successfully completed the 3 actions, it will then tell you have successfully completed it. When you go to the QR code back to the health officials to verify, because normally you have to be given clearance for quarantine, it will then present to you this information. It will state what was your quarantine time, how long you spent with it, and so forth. And in the event that they need a copy of that information, they could just scan the QR code and the information will be passed on to the individual. And that is it for the live demonstration.
We will now begin the 5-minute round of questioning from the judges.
Right, one thing I wanted a clarification on. How quickly after you fail to do an action are the authorities notified? When you say authorities, you mean police?
Well, who would be the persons? So when we partner, we would decide if we want it specifically for the police or if we want it for like help, like run like, I don't know, like doctor, hospital or so forth. Who they prefer to choose would be notified. For the sake of the presentation, I did it to just be like 5 seconds to then be notified just so you could see, because you have to cater for time. But realistically, I guess you could notify them. The time to be sent to notify could be set to whatever we prefer. It could be instant, or if you want a delay, it doesn't matter.
Right. What I'm trying to get at is just, in a practical sense, if someone fails to do an action, whether through inadvertence or, as you say, they might be sleeping or whatever, if it is in fact contacting the police, I was just thinking about, the police's time in terms of receiving all these alerts that somebody breached this. It could be several persons at a time, right? Yeah. And if it's notifying them instantly, that's the only thing I was just wondering about. If there is any remedial measure for the user, if they do fail to do an action, say after 10 seconds, they can come back and say, oh, I forgot to do this action, let me do it now, just so that they know. And the police wouldn't be alerted immediately.
Yes, and remember I spoke about the introduction or the use of the front desk clerks as well. So they too will get a notification if the person fails to complete an action. They could go and check and see, check the reason or whatever reason why the person missed that action, and then they can report it, and it will have like a reset, and then the person will be fine.
Right, yeah, I did remember that. It was just, that's what I was asking about, if it's the police that's contacting directly and so forth. I just wanted to find out. Another question I think I asked in the preliminaries, I'm not sure if you've given it thought for the finals now, but again, given the nature of the app, the importance of it, do you have any redundancies in place in terms of any servers failing or anything like that? Like, because obviously you would need everything to work pretty much 99% uptime. If something does fail, do you have any redundancies in place to take care of that?
All right, well, to answer that question, normally good practice is you shouldn't have everything in one location. So I was thinking that we should probably have like a backup on a different server like every 2 to 3 days. So that way, if one server fails, we still have a backup if that do happens.
And also, that's why when we catered to your question the last time, that's why we introduced the offline mode. So that way, in the event that any disruption, the app can still function as normal with the use of the geolocation functions.
Right, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Good afternoon again, fellas. I was going to ask you about what if somebody falls asleep, but you guys did answer that with the front desk solution, right? And you guys did say that the app will be sustained through you guys and through the support of the Ministry of Health, right? I think I had asked you the last time about somebody faking their location, whether or not they were close to their phones or what. But one of the things, do you guys think that what do you guys think about your app here versus a simpler solution, as in wearing a tracking bracelet? Wearing a tracking bracelet instead of. Yeah.
Well, because we ran out of time, we had future plans where we expand on technology. I also had another point there, wearable devices. So that included smartwatch. So I think that would answer your question with the tracking bracelet.
Okay.
That's it for the round of.
Yeah, that's it for the questions.
Thank you, the Island Boys, for your presentation on QTrack. That was our last presentation for the evening. We will now open the voting for your favorite open category team. Voting would be done for 15 minutes. You can go and vote at www.ntrc.vc/vote. Following the voting segment, we will take a short break for the judges to submit their scores, and the auditors will have them tallied. After all, $7,000 is on the line. Go ahead and vote now. Okay, I would now open the floor for the judges to give their comments on the open category.
Good afternoon again. The presentation, I find they were well crafted and presented. I can see a lot of work, hard work and time went into creating those apps. Looking at those apps, I can see the future for technology in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's bright. Things in St. Vincent can change. We can see how things in St. Vincent can change due to technology, especially in this COVID time. And some of those apps have shown us where we can move in this COVID time, especially the quarantine app, the Q-Track, the API and API, sorry. Okay, the API, I can see how those can help in this trying time with COVID. Well done, all the teams, they have done well. That's it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right, just congrats to all the teams again that participated. It's a good competition to have. It's something that I wish I had growing up or younger. I mean, I know I can still participate in the open category, I believe. So that's a good thing. It's something that I'm happy to see a lot more persons are taking up and trying to be involved in. And it's a good initiative by the NTRC as well. The only disappointment I have is that there aren't more women in the competition. I know that we had, I think, one team in the preliminaries, but hopefully next year and the years to follow, we'd have more women coming into the competition, because women in tech is something that we have to try to push, and I hope maybe the NTRC can probably do some pushing in that area just to reach out to more women and to allow them to be motivated enough to come into these competitions. All the apps were well presented, they were good. They're apps that I wish I could use right now, to be honest. I hope that the teams, regardless of whether or not you win or lose today, I hope that the teams would still continue to develop these apps or even other apps that were not presented today that they might have on their shelves. And hopefully, we in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we would benefit from those apps and we would benefit from persons using these apps. And again, I just want to encourage all the teams to continue to put their best foot forward. And again, thanks for your presentation, for your apps. Yeah, but congrats again.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. I just want to say congrats to all of the teams that participated again today, including the secondary school teams. Based upon what I saw, there were a lot of work that was put into these apps. I'd just like to congratulate the teams on those. Again, the presentations were well done. I enjoyed all of them. I think going forward, I hope that some of these teams do take the apps that are presented here seriously and push ahead with them beyond the competition. Because I would like to use some of them in real life, real world, day-to-day experiences. Yeah, and I'm very proud to see that the kind of work that is being done in terms of the technological landscape in St. Vincent and Grenadines, especially from the younger ones. Yeah, and I just would like to encourage them to keep on pursuing the field of technology because it is the future. And yeah, just congratulations and the best of luck to everyone today. Again, thank you.
Okay, thank you, judges, for your feedback. I'm sure it'd be very helpful to the participants. I hope you guys voted for your favorite open category team. Right now, we will take a short break for the scores to be tallied, and we will resume to have the results and prize-giving ceremony at 2:30.
The NTRC's icode784 competition grand finale is here. Teams from all across St. Vincent and the Grenadines will compete for a chance to win huge cash prizes. It's the NTRC's icode784 competition grand finale. Code the future.
Introducing a new amazing flavor from Juicy. Sweet tamarind. You can now taste sweet tamarind, sparkly joy, bubbly goodness, tamarind flavor, all in one bottle. Enjoy Juicy Sweet Tamarind today. Juicy Sparkly Joy. Available at your favorite supermarket, restaurant, and neighborhood grocery.
WeFM 99.9, home of quality programming. A source of reliable news and information. Home of legendary voices and music. WeFM 99.9, the clean fresh sound. Visit us online at www.999wefm.com or call 457-9994. WeFM 99.9, the clean fresh sound. WeFM 99.9, home of quality programming. A source of reliable news and information.
afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the prize-giving ceremony for our icode784 competition. We would start out by handing out the certificates to the participants who participated today, and to do this would be the Commissioner of the NTRC, Mr. Petros Gums. To the stage is Hudson Adams. Hudson would be followed by Jason Alexis. Jason Alexis would be followed by Akeelia Ashton. I would welcome Kimani Brown. Isaac Cepeda. DeAndre Charles. Ansonique Coffey. Joseph Denny. Keyshawn Dorishe. Janessa Durham. Gia Gloucester. Stanislas Gooms. Cody Ince. Darissa James. Timara Walters. Luke Wilson. And last, but by no means least, Hosea Wilson. I will now announce the school with the most entries. They would receive a check which would be handed over by Miss Eustacia Walter. And the school with the most entries, any guesses? Yes, the Union Island Secondary School. Congratulations, Union Island. And we hope to see even more teams next year. The third place winner in the secondary idea category would receive a check, which would be handed over by Miss Shadeja Gordon, as well as a trophy, which would be handed over by Miss Felica Thomas. And the third place winner in the secondary idea category from the Union Island Secondary School, the team UISSA team. Congratulations, UISSA team. Thank you. The second place winner in the secondary idea category will receive a check, which would be handed over by Miss Andrea Keyser, a case of juicy, which would be handed over by Miss Makeda Frederick Smith, and a trophy, which would be handed over by Miss Felica Thomas. The second place winners of the secondary idea category from the Union Island Secondary School, the team UISS Study Buddies. We welcome to the stage Daricia James, Akeelia Ashton, and Kishon Dorishe. First place winners in the secondary idea category would receive checks, which would be handed over by Miss Andrea Keyser, phones, which would be handed over by Floor Representative Daz, and a trophy, which would be handed over by our Commissioner, Mr. Petros Gums. The first place winners in the secondary idea category from the Union Island Secondary School, the team UISS Coding Kids. I would welcome Gia Gloucester, Tamara Walters, and DeAndre Charles to the stage. Congratulations, Coding Kids. Moving on, we would announce the winners for the secondary mobile category. As we only had 2 teams participating in this category, we would only have first and second place. The second place winners would receive checks, which would be handed over by Miss Andra Keyser, a case of juicy, which would be handed over by Miss Makeda Frederick Smith, and a trophy, which would be handed over by Miss Shadeja Gordon. The second place winners in the secondary mobile app category from the Union Island Secondary School, the team UISS Coding Kids. I would welcome back Gia Gloucester, Tamara Walters, DeAndre Charles, and Jose Wilson to the stage. Wait for the trophy. Congratulations, Coding Kids. Keep up the good work. The first place winners we would welcome to the stage from the St. Vincent Girls High School. The first place winners in the secondary mobile app category, Jan Innovations. Welcome Anthony Coffey and Janessa Durham. They would receive checks, which would be handed over by Miss Andra Keyser, a case of juicy, which would be, phones, which would be handed over by Digicel's representative, Miss Carissa Taylor, and the trophy, which would be handed over by the NTRC's commissioner, Mr. Petros Gums. Congratulations, JN Innovations. Keep up the good work. Moving along into the open category, the third place winners in the open category would receive checks, which would be handed over by Miss Andrea Keyser, a case of Juicy, which would be handed over by Mrs. McCade Frederick Smith, and a trophy which would be handed over by Miss Nadine Hull. The third place winners in the open category third place winner goes to the group Yay 10. We would welcome Jason Alexis and Joseph Denny to the stage. Congratulations, Year 10. The second place winners in the open category would receive checks, which would be handed over by Miss Andrea Keyser, a voucher for Carrier Rep, Mr. Cenas Hines, and a trophy which would be handed over by Miss Nadine Hull. To correct, the check would be handed over by Miss Eustacia Walter. The second place winner in the open category is the team Astra. We welcome to the stage Stanislaus Gomes, Isaac Cepeda, and Luke Wilson. Congratulations, Astra. And the first place winners in the open category, they would receive checks, which would be handed over by Miss Andrea Keyser, tablets from King Computer, which would be handed over by Miss Nadine Hull, and a trophy, which would be handed over by the NTRC's commissioner, Mr. Petros Gums. And the first place winners in the open category is the team Astra with the app API. We'd welcome back to the stage Stanislaus Gomes, Isaac Cepeda, and Luke Wilson. place winners in the open category won a cash prize of $7,000. Congratulations, Astra. To give the vote of thanks, I would welcome the NTRC's Consumer and Customer Experience Officer, Ms. Shadeja Gordon.
On behalf of the NTRC, I would like to express our sincere thanks to the following persons. A hearty thank you to our sponsors, the National Insurance Services, Radio Grenadines, SBGBC, Extreme Radio, King Computers, WeFM, Sports Locker, the Searchlight Newspaper, Flow, Digicel, Right Stuff, Boom 106.9 FM, Internet Society St. Vincent and the Grenadines Chapter, KDLT Accounting Firm, ECGC, Asbert News Network, One News, CTU, Eyewitness News, Hot 97, and Carriway. Thank you for their continued support. Thank you to the NTRC CPR Manager, Ms. Ria Lewis, for delivering the welcoming remarks, and the Director, Mr. Apollo Knights, for delivering the brief remarks. A big thanks to the judges and auditors for donating their time to us today. Thanks to all who participated in the competition for the first time and to those who continue to enter each year. Without you, this competition will not be possible. Thanks to the media houses for covering this event. We appreciate your support each year. Thanks to the staff of the NTRC who continue to work hard in making this competition possible. And to the NTRC's Commissioner, Mr. Petrus Gums, for the donation of his time for the distribution of the prizes. And last, but by no means least, thanks to the attendees and all the online viewers for tuning in for the competition grand finale and prize-giving ceremony. Once again, thank you and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon. We ask that all non-finalists see Ms. Eustacia Walter before leaving so that we can give you a token of appreciation for your effort that you put forward today. Thank you once again.
you.